Not too long ago, black people didn't have rights. They're trying to do us the same way, take us back. So just keep strong and keep your head up.
Everyone has protections. Everyone
Absolutely
has
not.
to
It has
vote.
a lot
You
to
have
do
the
with
right
that.
to assemble. You have
That
the
don't
right.
that don't matter.
That doesn't matter. That's the stuff that black people was fighting for. Okay. You see my concern? Do y'all see my concern? Okay, I'm gonna stop. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Blue, and we're here. We're back with another video. Let's go and get right into it. This one popped up on my feed. It's from Fox 26 Houston. I'm guessing this is Fox News. I'm not too sure, but it seems like it's a podcast of some sort. Let me see what's going on here. It's Isaiah Factor Uncensored. I've never heard of him, but like I said, this kind of popped on my feed. This topic is on LGBTQ rights and potential risk under Trump administration. So we're going to see exactly what's going on here in regards to that. If you guys haven't been paying attention, which I'm pretty sure all of you already know by now, he's mentioned specifically about, only identify or only acknowledging to genders and getting rid of the, I guess, aid of the transitioning of children. I could have sworn he said of all ages, but then he said about children as well. So I'm gonna stick, because he said all ages. I'm gonna stick with the fact that he's trying to do it for all ages, and providing aid for the gender affirmation that programs, therapy that they have when it comes to affirming somebody's gender or their transition and stuff like that. So Trump said that he's going to be getting rid of all of that, which is a big shift. That was something that I guess I'm pretty sure that the Biden administration had enabled, but now Trump is going to remove. And Trump also mentioned about making sure that those that were legally born men are not playing in women's sports. Hence, I would assume that, and that was the one thing that really caught me off guard. Because when you look at it, majority of I haven't seen. I'm not going to say that this is what's happening. I'm saying what I'm not seeing. I'm seeing a lot of hearing and talk on both sides in regards to men that were initially men transitioned to women playing in women's sports. But I've yet to hear of women that transition to men playing in men's sports. So why is that? And that's an interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Why is it that only the transition men to women are playing in women's sports, but we're not hearing anything about transition women to men playing in men's sports? Why aren't we hearing that? That's something that, I mean, if you guys got a comment, I don't know. It's just something that I thought about recently, and I just found that very weird, and justifying the whole, trans women or trans women playing in women's sports. It kind of made it weird to kind of justify that, where I don't see it happening on both sides. It seems to only be happening on the one transition and not the both side transition. But again, let's go ahead and see what's going on here. I think this is Isaiah guy. He's bringing in two individuals, and they're just going to speak their mind. Again, something that's unbiased is just people's opinion. And then I get my 2 cents afterwards. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? The time is nigh. We're getting so much closer to getting to 1,000 subs, and as promised, we're going to be doing a giveaway. 2 people are going to get a chance to win $25 gift cards to Amazon. All you have to do is just hit that like button, press that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, go down to the description where you're going to find the link to enter for the giveaway. And once I hit 1,000 subs, I'm going to go ahead and do a live. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. We're going to do this, and as I mentioned before, the more that the channel grows, the more that these giveaways are just going to increase. So y'all stick around and y'all go ahead and watch these videos. Let's get this thing up. Let's go ahead and get back to the video.
Eyes on President-elect Donald Trump. There's been a lot of talk about his proposed policies, particularly related to the rights in the LGBTQ plus community. Trump has proposed to ban transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. He also said he plans for congressional approval recognizing only 2 sexes.
I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth.
There's been strong reaction from both sides of the aisle. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor on Censorship.
And I think there needs to be more conversation around the topic when it comes to gender identity, when it comes to, because to me, male and female, that's a biology thing. If you identify otherwise, then okay, but that's you in your mind. But physically, when you are born with said genitalia, then you are male. When you're born with said genitalia, you are female. However, your mind works, they can't tell what your mind is, but based on how you are physically, that's how you're kind of identified, which I think is a very good premise. If we're going to start with gender identity, let's start there. Start about the physical aspect. What's going on up here doesn't apply to what's here, type thing. Doesn't apply to your physique. What's going on in your mind. I think that separation definitely has to be made when it comes to talking about this conversation, because they try to intertwine it, and I don't think you really can. And that's kind of like trying to speak on both sides. Like, yeah, I don't know. Let's keep going.
So tonight, we have with us Lewis Hunter and a member of Houston's transgender community, Barbie Braxton. So, Barbie, obviously you were not surprised, or were you surprised when you heard this?
I wasn't. I mean, we all been hearing about it. We all been hearing about, was it Project 25 or whatever? So, no, I wasn't surprised about it. We're the least protected people. So he's going to try to make an example out of us.
Mm-hmm. And so when you heard this, what were your emotions like? What did you think about it?
I laughed at it because, I mean, nothing's really changed. She's just saying stuff that people been saying. So I'm just like, just wait for everybody else's turn.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he said, wait for it, because you think.
You know what he said? He said, wait for everybody else's turn. He identified the trans woman as a he, but let's keep going.
I think it will roll downhill.
It absolutely will.
After you guys, then somebody else,
Absolutely.
the next group, and the
Absolutely.
group after that. And what would you say to those who are in the LGBTQ plus community that may have, because there are the log cabin Republicans who support Trump, and there have been many individuals in the LGBTQ plus community who have supported Trump. So what would you say to those individuals?
Very interesting, right? Yes, this is very interesting because this whole trans thing kind of there's been trans people that's been in transition for quite a couple years, even before Trump, but it seems like there's a very high, well, as of recently, the big thing is that it's starting to happen with kids, a lot of kids. So with that being said, it's like there's been a big kind of change and shift in that aspect. And while we're trying to, and the interesting thing is those of that are, LGB community that were initially, like I was watching again, a TikTok where a lady that was gay, she was saying that once they got their rights with Obama to get married, that's all that she cared for. And then all this extra stuff started popping off. And then now all of a sudden they're being put back in a category where people are throwing hate and stuff like that. But again, that's one person's opinion on the situation, somebody that's in the community. So let's see, as somebody that's in the community, how does she feel about those that support Trump?
Just keep your head up, stay strong. Basically, Rome was not built overnight. Not too long ago, black people didn't have rights. They're trying to do us the same way, take us back. So just keep strong and keep your head up.
All right, Lewis, your thoughts on this? Obviously, you're not surprised, but do you agree with what the president has to say?
Absolutely. I don't think that the federal government should be involved in the culture in which people operate. It changes nothing. If you are part of the LGBT community, you will be part of the LGBT community. This has specifically to deal with gender. As far as protections federally, everyone has protections. Everyone
Absolutely
has
not.
rights.
Okay, so she says no. See, look at me, gender affirming.
Those
don't.
protections are there. That I don't know what rights that I might have that you might not have.
Oh, rights. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. They're mentioning losing rights. At this point, you've already, I guess, fully transitioned. What rights are you now no longer getting? The only thing that's really being taken away is, yeah, for somebody that's fully transitioned like this, I don't see this. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Specifically, the questions that I have asked: what rights are being taken away for those that have already transitioned? For those that are in the process of being transitioned, I can understand how there's some concern because now this whole process is going to be like cut apart and pun not intended, but essentially cut apart during your transition. So it's like what happens to those individuals, and then for those that again, if the situation of feeling like you're in the wrong body and wanting to transition can no longer transition, okay, but those that are already transitioned, how is everything that's happening affecting them? They've already transitioned. There's nothing that's specified towards trans. If anything, somebody help me please understand, because we're looking at this from both sides. I need somebody to help me understand that part, but let's see what she has to say.
It's a lot of rights that we don't have.
Can you name one?
We are the least protected people. Like we can, like, if somebody come, like even like the trans panic law, people know that I'm trans and I'm dating them. They can scream that we didn't know that she was trans, and they can get off.
What specific right? See, we're talking about
See, emotion. This is all right. Let's keep going.
emotion. How someone feels about you has nothing to do with rights.
It has a lot to do
You
with
have
that.
the right to.
Rights are not set to appease to somebody's emotions. Rights is set for you to do things, be able to have certain actions. The right that was given to you to be able to transition with no problem, with all you had to do is just say it, and then you'll have people, from all over affirming you and helping you begin the process to transition. Yes, that right is taken away. The right for you as a trans woman to play in men's sports and now not able to do that. Yes, that right that was given would now be taken away. But what's outside of that? That she herself wouldn't be able to do anymore.
It has a
vote,
lot
you
to
have
do
the
with
right
that.
to assemble, you have
That
the
don't
right.
don't matter.
So
That doesn't matter. That's the stuff that black people was fighting for. Okay. You see my concern? Do y'all see my concern? Okay, I'm gonna stop.
what I'm asking is, what specific right do I have that you don't?
You're black?
Yes,
I'm
I am.
asking you,
My
black?
father's black. Yes.
Okay. So just as a cisgender heterosexual man, you have more rights than me, period.
But we can't compare this to being black because
Absolutely,
a white,
you
hold on,
can.
let me finish.
You
A
can.
white man cannot identify as a black man.
That has nothing to do with
gender
that.
is established at conception. Gender is recognized at birth. That's fact. And it's not
going to change
And this has nothing to
anything.
do with discrimination. This has nothing to do with discrimination. You live your life, and I protect your right to live your life. I would speak up for that. This has to do with the fact, people think that this is a discriminative thing. This is 6th grade biology. This is not something as a hit against you. This is the federal government should not take part in the dysphoria that someone has about their gender. If someone is born and they don't like their gender, and that's a completely different debate, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the fact that Trump says that there are two genders. There's a male and a female, an
Everybody
XX
knows
and an
that.
XY.
Everybody knows that.
Then why? So
Clearly, not everybody knows that.
are you saying that there should be some inclusion outside
It
of
should be inclusion in everything.
Why?
It should be,
What's the
because
purpose?
everybody should be included in everything.
Let me
You
ask
can't not exclude anybody.
outside of a person being born male or female, what else is a person born?
I said it, everybody already know that. So you
Okay.
keep repeating the same thing. Everybody know what we're born at birth.
No, because if you're part of the LGBTQ and maybe plus, you're not including those that have their pronouns, unless that's not part of LGBTQ plus. No, that is those that don't have their pronouns and don't assimilate with a pronoun or gender and stuff like that. How you're discrediting them at this look, I don't know, man. Y'all help me, please. I'm trying to really understand and see their perspective, but I'm not giving much solid ground to go off of to be like, okay, yes, this makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So that's not the issue, but you can't tell nobody that they can't be trans. That's like you can't tell nobody what they can and can't do. You cannot do that.
And that's not what's being
So,
said.
Barbie, let me ask you this. Are you concerned that at some point in your life down the road, you cannot change your birth? Because a lot of people change their birth certificates. And they go through the courts and they identify as, and it's on their driver's
That's okay. That's a valid question.
license as well. Are you concerned about those steps down the road?
Yes, for some people, and no, some people don't care about their stuff being.
So then what are we Oh my gosh. Maybe they got the wrong person on here. They got the wrong person on here. Cause she's not I need somebody that's actually gonna give me something to go off of. You're saying this doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, but it does. This is the stuff, this is the rights that you're talking about. You're talking about rights. These are rights. Be able to change your birth certificate so that if you were a trans, then this is to identify, yes, I was born a female. But you're saying that doesn't matter? So it's not so much a matter of being a female, but just being different. I don't know. Help me, guys, please.
Being changed, and some people do, but like I said, we just have to keep pushing. We have to keep fighting.
No,
because
what are we fighting for? I hate that I keep stopping for this. What are we fighting for? That's the thing. We can't fight for absolutely nothing. There has to be a reason why we're fighting, a logical reason why we're fighting. If it's for emotions that we're fighting for something, okay, cool. But what is it that these emotions that we're fighting for? Because if we're just fighting based off of our emotions, then that means we don't have, again, from my other video, we don't have self-control.
you know, he can be overturned.
I mean, these laws were established. Women had the right to vote in 1920. The Civil Rights Bill was signed in 1964. It was amended to include specifically gender in 1967. So all of these bases have been covered. I think what happened was when Obama got in office, he acknowledged the inclusion of
The
what
gay
someone
community.
identified as, you know, and what it did was it sent a message that there was this third world. You know, we got, at the end of the day, you know, the federal government, the Department of Education, we've got kids in third world countries, you know, learning organic chemistry and quantum physics, and here we are arguing about whether or not somebody was born a boy or a girl. You know, and that might not be the argument here, but that's the general discussion, and it's sad, is what it is.
It's not sad because people need to learn to accept everyone, no matter what they identify as. You keep trying to say, oh, this and that, and third world country. We're not worried about what's going on over there because we don't live there. We're dealing with what's going on in our backyard.
But these are the same people that we're not worried about what they're doing out there, and we're caught off guard and they want to come and do stuff over here. Then it's like, then we're just going to be taken over, right? Because isn't that what happens when it comes to warfare and not knowing what people are doing over there? The whole making sure that we're, you know, understanding exactly what's happening, seeing what the enemy is doing, if they're enemies, or just seeing what other people are doing, seeing how we can learn from them. If they're growing mentally, then they're going to expand. They're going to produce more factors that benefit their culture as opposed to just appeasing to their emotions and not getting anywhere. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. I mean, this reasoning is not sitting well with me. They definitely should have put somebody else.
But see, that's what he's doing now because he got everybody in an uproar to come against the community that a lot of people do not accept. But like I said, everybody just have to wait their turn.
The beauty
because he's going to get everybody.
The beauty of this country, regardless of who someone voted for, is you can disagree with everybody.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, if the protections that I have, if someone does something to you versus if someone does something to me, the consequences are the same.
No, it's not. You know, absolutely not.
You know, that might be perceived. But
Louis, you have to wrap it up because we're moving on, but go ahead. Go
okay,
ahead,
but that's not the truth. We need to understand that you don't have to agree with something that that someone else does. You know, I'm part Korean. I eat Korean food. Some people might view that as weird. Doesn't mean they want to oppress Korean food. Doesn't mean that they hate
Right.
Korean food. They just
Right.
choose to think it's weird. You know,
You
and
can't
so
compare,
if someone
food to people's
if someone
gender
believes that
identity.
just in the same context as you can't compare black to this gender dysphoria, this fantasy of this is what I decide to be, which
It's
you
not
have
a fantasy. I'm here in
which
reality.
you have every
It's
right
not
to
a
do.
fantasy.
Which you
See, and this is exactly the part that I was mentioning. This is the part that I was exactly what I'm mentioning. When we're talking about the whole gender thing, it's physically, it's not mental. What she's referring to is mental, but she's trying to drag it into the physical because I made this change to my body. So therefore, this is who I am now. This is what's happening up here. It's not what's happening over here. You were born this way, but the way that your mind has shifted is a mind thing, which I guess I'm now understanding the whole euphoria thing, because euphoria happens in the mind, not in the body, from my understanding. Somebody correct me. I know I keep saying somebody correct me, but again, I'm learning and I'm trying to understand. So if I'm wrong, help me understand. Give me your point of view. Give me, anything so that I can better understand the situation, because I'm going to just go off what I know. So in that same sense, I mean, they say this plenty of times when it comes to, let's say, if it's 100 years and there's an astrologer that finds a set of bones that's in the ground, he's going to look at the skull structure. He's going to look at the skeletals and say, this was either a man or female. This is either a male or a female. He's not going to say this was a male that transitioned into a female. That's not what he's going to say. This was either male or female, biologically born male, biologically born female. That's the physicality of the body. What happens in your head and what your head tells you that you are or aren't, that's completely separate from the body. And I think that's where we kind of have to stand if we're going to continue to have these conversations about emotions and trans and gays and stuff like that. But I don't know. Interesting stuff. Very interesting. Again, point of view of somebody that's a parent, that's straight, and somebody that's in the trans community. I haven't seen somebody from the trans community talking this in a while. But again, I think somebody that has a little more understanding of laws and has something factual as opposed to none of that matters. No, a lot of stuff matters. But interesting enough. If you guys like this video, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and comment, please. Let me know what y'all think, because this is interesting stuff. Again, I don't know who this Isaiah guy is, but it's a pretty good topic that they started off with, and we'll see how we go from here. Y'all like this video, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to see more channels, or if you want to see more videos, go ahead and hit that bell so that you know every time a video comes up, because sometimes YouTube is not going to let you know. Outside of that, y'all have a good one. Take it easy. Peace.